MicroStrategy closed down 1.9% today at 379. Now at open, it was real ugly. It sold off. Well, it gapped down for one, then it sold off to 376, and then ultimately rebounded at 1:30 p.m. up to 390 before ultimately closing at 379. Now, I tried to do a post on the YouTube community tab for my subscribers showing two different charts, the Bitcoin chart, which I thought held the key to today's price action, and the MicroStrategy chart. Of course, I realized afterwards that YouTube forces my screenshots into squares, which then crops out important information. So it's definitely not the place to be sharing these charts, but I wanted to tell you guys, at least I tried. Also, TradingView, let me complain for 1 second, is currently bugged. So I have a support ticket in. It's bugged for me. I just wanted to show you guys, this is how I like to look at the charts. I like to be zoomed out. I like to be on the bigger time frames. You know what I mean? I like to be even more zoomed out than this most of the time. I like to look at weekly bars. These are daily bars. Now, to make sense of MicroStrategy's price action, I actually had to go down to like 4-hour bars. And you see this yellow line that I drew? So that yellow line has been connected to a lot of MicroStrategy price action, and we need to deviate from it. You know, it's almost like kind of pacing the expansion. When we deviate too far, like we did here, ultimately we snap back. When we deviate from this side, we snap back. But I think we should deviate from it soon, because if I change the color of this parabola here, I'm gonna make it orange, and you'll notice I'm struggling a little bit more than usual because TradingView is bugged for me. This parabola started all the way back March 2024, and we should be in the ascent portion before we know it. You know, like when it's not an exact science when you draw these things, you can usually tweak them and kind of get it to fit whatever you want. But the way that I currently have it drawn does connect all of the major bottoms, I would say. You know what I mean? And typically, if you're touching it, would be a great time to buy. In the post I made, I said, I think ultimately MicroStrategy could actually trade down to this yellow line. And again, it's not an exact science, so perhaps maybe this should be out a little bit more. And you know, where the parabola and the yellow support intersects here on the 4-hour chart, MicroStrategy could trade down around 370 tomorrow. I'm not saying it will. I actually am not 100% sure. Like if I had to assign probabilities, I would say there's probably a 50% chance. This is why. So on the Bitcoin chart, and this was one of the pictures that I put on YouTube's community tab and on Twitter, let me delete this arrow. So this is Bitcoin. Actually, let me zoom out. This is the daily on Bitcoin. Now let me change the color of this to orange, and I'll make it 2 pixels. You see this orange line? This is like the equivalent line for what we just looked at in MicroStrategy, except that was on the 4-hour. So this is even more significant, I should say, on Bitcoin, because these are daily bars. Look how involved it's been in Bitcoin's price action, dating all the way back from inception to August 2023. You know, it's been very involved in pacing Bitcoin's expansion. Now we need to deviate from this line, at least temporarily, to get that blow off, you know, the banana zone, as we call it. Currently, though, it did stop the sell-off in Bitcoin. Of course, as I record this, it could break through and make me look stupid. There it is, yo, in real time, you guys, I called it. Who does this? All right, I called it. And without this orange line, if you saw my updates on the YouTube community tab, I actually had that red arrow there pointing to the intersection of this blue channel, which is a little bit of a bull flag, depending on how far we zoom out. You can see it's a little bit of a bull flag. And it intersects with the yellow zone, which I did say on this chart, I believe if I zoom out enough, the yellow ladder part is where you want to be long. I do believe we are in the yellow ladder portion. We are currently working on breaking up to the upside. And first, I think we may have another, what would this be, like the second back test of the top of this bull flag. That's really my thoughts on today's price action, guys. It's not that exciting when MicroStrategy is in the red, but at least this kind of makes sense of the move, right? Bitcoin goes down here. Tomorrow's daily bar looks like it would intersect at about $105,300. It would probably pivot from there. We should all hope, right? And then here on MicroStrategy, the corresponding price action would look to be around $370, maybe $371. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe, check out my school community if you want daily updates. That's linked below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.